Hello and welcome back again to the Club World Cup journey. We're now on to Group F. Um, there's not really much that happened with this group actually towards in the last game week. For the most part, the group stayed the same. Unfortunately, Memolodi Sundowns didn't make it through. Obviously, Olsen lost all three games. Um, their game against Dortmund was just a 1-0 win. Svensson scored in the 36th minute with a lovely finish. But not really much happened for Dortmund after that. Really, I think they kept it cool, just kept possession ticking, and just um I think they knew that after they got the goal that Olsen had no chance to get back, so they ended up winning the group, topping the group. And then the other game was a draw, and it's funny that Melody had some chances, and I feel like and it was fun, and I feel like they could have gone through. I think they had the better of the chances in the game, more of the possession. I think for the most part they were the better team, and they showed up. And I think Memolodi Sundowns can at least have their head held high, that they at least gave it a try, gave it a chance. I think going into this tournament, people probably would have said Dortmund, Fluminense as the two teams to go through outright, but they made it. They made it something that maybe people thought, oh, maybe this could be another one of those, outside of the box teams that get through, similar to Group E with Monterrey. And I think Memolodi, if even if they got one of those chances on target, I think it would have been very difficult for Fluminense to get back into the game. But Fluminense, all they needed to get the draw, their goalkeeper came up with some big saves, and I think going forward, I think Fluminense looks like one of the worst Brazilian teams so far in terms of what I've watched. But we'll see who they have in the next rounds. I think if I was mistaken, Dortmund have Dortmund have Monterrey, and Fluminense have Inter Milan. Fluminense versus Inter Milan will be a very interesting one. I think Inter, for the most part, haven't been the greatest team in the tournament, and Fluminense is similar. So I feel like Inter Milan are the favourites going into that game. But I think it'll be a very interesting one in the sense of defensively, Fluminense are very strong. They don't really concede a lot of goals. It will be hard for Inter Milan to get through them, and I think the game will probably go like this. Fluminense will be defensive, look to counter, and then Inter will try and break them down. But I don't know how good Inter are at breaking down teams. They seem to not be that great for the most part, and I think they even struggled against River Plate until they went down to 10 men. So that's going to be a very interesting one. On the other side, Dortmund have been here or there. Um, they they've not been at their scintillating best, but they've done what they've needed to do to get through to the group. Monterrey, on the other hand, had a lovely end to their group with some absolutely amazing goals. But I think this will be a fun game, Dortmund versus Monterrey. I think Monterrey will give it everything. I think they'll probably have that kind of similar attitude that they did against the Royal Red Diamonds, where when they have chances, they will shoot. And I think that's going to make this game very interesting. I think Dortmund, if they can progress, I think they have every right to even get to the semis. So, but it will be interesting to see who is on their side as well. Obviously, both Dortmund and Monterrey on the harder side of the group because you have Bayern, you have PSG for the moment. But we'll see how things work out with the last two groups. And yeah, for the most part, there's not much else we can say in terms of Dortmund with a very comfortable 1-0 win over Olsen, and just Momolodi just didn't have enough to get over the line when it came to Fluminense. Um, I would like to say Olsen, great participants for this tournament. It was good to see different teams. Memolodi did Africa proud. I think they they blew my expectations of what I expected from them. They played some silky football. I really liked some of their players. I really liked some of their style. Because for me, when it came to South African teams, I knew about Kaiser Chiefs, I knew about Orlando Pirates, but Mamelodi Sundowns is a team that I haven't really heard of before. Because when I was into FIFA heavy and they had South African teams, those were the two. They never really had Mamelodi Sundowns, so it was a new team to watch, and they impressed me a lot. They impressed me a lot. And yeah, I mean, this is just a very quick one. I think, as I said, not much really happened in the games in totality. Congrats to Dortmund and Fluminense for getting through. It'll be interesting to see how they if they progress going forward. But yeah, I will have a round of 16 video coming out as well, and I will be looking to obviously stream the games for the round of 16 as well. But this has been the Club World Cup um, journey, Group F. It's one of the shorter videos, but you know, when there's not really much to talk to outside of the who went through and what they're gonna do next, it is what it is. I think one of the weaker groups in terms of the two teams that went through, because for me, I would have loved to see Memolodi go through. For me personally, I think they deserved it over Fluminense, if I say so myself. But it is what it is. That's how the cookie crumbles. Sometimes, if you don't take your chances on the day, it doesn't happen for you. But as I said again, congrats to Dortmund and Fluminense. It's been the Club World Cup journey, and I'm out. Peace.